Welcome to the TAOUTDOORS Fishing Show. I'm going to show you how to make a trace. That's your rig, your terminal gear setup for something big. Because when you're sea fishing, you can't specify exactly which species is going to end up on the end of your line. In this case, I'm aiming or targeting for conger eels. But of course, anything can take it. What I'm also going to be showing you is 2 or 3 different tools we use for crimping. Now, crimping is for heavy-duty wire or monofilament leaders where you can't knot it. It's too tight to actually turn into a knot. Look, you can knot it. It's horrendously hard. What's the point? You can go into a tackle shop. You can buy all these materials I'm going to show you in a minute. You can make your own terminal rigs, and this is a way you should be looking at doing it. As mentioned, I'm not going to be using knots. I'm going to be using what they call here crimping sleeves. For those, you need to crush them onto the line, the wire, the monofilament with a pair of crimping tools. Now, there are 2 types of crimping tools, and it's most important that you learn to differentiate between the 2. They come in what they call a cup to point tool and a cup to cup tool. Yes, they're very old, they're very rusty, but they work. I've had them years. That one, as you can see, is on a spring. This one is not. They both have cutters. They have a cutter at the top here on that one, and this one has 2 side edges here which you can snip with. These ones in particular are only really good on sort of about 400-pound mono, 300-pound mono. They will cut, but they're not the greatest edge cutters. For that reason, I use my own regular wire cutters. Much easier to get a pair of these. I'll just show you the difference in cup to cup and cup to point and the reasons why you should be able to know the difference. Okay, now here you can see there are cup to points. So I'm hoping you can see there is the cup, the U shape, and there is a point on the opposite side. So what really happens is this piece at the top here, the point, pushes into the base of the cup. Let me just see if I can shut one of these crimps. This is what you're going to be doing. You're going to be shoving your line right through there, and I'm trying to do this and film at the same time, guys, and you might be able to see this, you might not. I'm hoping you can. I'm going to do half of a crimp at the moment on an empty one. I'm going to have to use 2 hands. I'll kind of hold it steady for you. Crush. Okay, it's accentuated because there's nothing in there. But that, effectively there, can you see that shape? The top has the V in it. It's been pushed down into the U at the bottom. That's a cup to point tool. Now, the other tool, which I use most of the time, I have to say, is called a cup to cup. If I squeeze the jaws together, let's get them there, you can see it makes a perfect circle. So it compresses much, much neater. I'm just going to get this so, fingers crossed, I can do it without crushing my fingers. And I'm hoping you should be able to see the difference between the 2. Has anybody ever done this on YouTube before? I've not seen it. All right, there you can see cup to cup. Now I'm going to have a go at squeezing that together. Let's move this out of the way. Up it goes. Crush it. Take it out. Now that one there, hoping you can see that, crushes both sides. Can you see that? That's about as close as I can get with a focus on this camera. Try it in there. There, you should be able to see it now. There you can see, it's neat. There's a flange crushed out on the edge of either side. And in the middle, little circle, is where your leader or trace material will be. Now, the cup to point there, the other way round, you can see is pushed down on there. Now, what happens is this. When you're using wire, the wire itself, the trace material, can't be compressed. And if you've got the cup and point like this, that's the one that pushes down and sort of digs into the wire. So it's okay for using for wire, but if you had nylon running through the sleeve, imagine that's the end of the sleeve, the crimping sleeve you're going to use, and you have monofilament, you don't really want that cup to point going in there. It's biting and pinching into the monofilament. It's definitely weakening it. What you want is a mini double sleeve like this. The end view is like a figure 8, not quite closed obviously, and then it is compressed down. So cup to cup for nylon, cup to point for wire, should you so wish. These are the other items of terminal gear I need to make a conger, or indeed any bottom dwelling fish of a large size should take this. You're going to need your cylinder swivels. These are just called brass crimps, nickel. They come in 100 in a pack. They've got a size 3, a size 2, a size 1. You can see it's pretty self-explanatory. Get the size you want for the leader diameter you're going to want. For conger hook or similar large fish, I got here something called a meat hook. Basically, look, it's an 8-0. It's just an 8-0 hook there. God, I thought I had 3 hooks on the back there. No, they've just made up ones. Regular bronze barrel swivels. That size is a 1-0, 25 in a pack. You can see that there, just a regular barrel swivel. I'll take one out just to show you. Brand new pack. Pop them open, you can have a look. You can get good quality swivels. These are a cheaper swivel. If you're going to lose them in wrecks or reefs, rough ground, you might just well lose a cheap swivel as a good swivel. So you're going to want one of those. You're going to want a running boom, a small running boom like this, which has a clip on it. I'll just show you, just so you can see one. We're going to rig it up and show you anyway. That is going to slide up and down on your line, and it's got a clip there to which you attach your lead weight. There's some more, I don't know what size these ones are. Size 4, there we are. We've got all the different sizes. Obviously, some mono for your trace. You're going to make for conger, you don't have to have wire. You can use heavy duty mono. So for regular reef fishing, I've got here a skein, what I call a skein. There's actually 10 metres of it, I think, or 10 sections of 10 metres, add up to 10 metres there, of 150 pounds, or I got some there at 250 pounds if you're wreck fishing for big conger. And listen, if you hook the wreck, this isn't going to snap. Your line, your reel line is going to snap, which might be, let's for argument's sake, say 30 to 50 pounds. And this is how, oh, well, I've got some of these mini double sleeves there. I can show you both ways then. And this is how I'm going to make my conger fishing trace. Okay, now what I've done, I've cut off the 250 pound one. I've made that look 1 foot, 2 foot, maybe 30 inches long, because a lot of commercial guys don't like using long traces. They used to like to use a short length of leader for trace making material. My suggestion is when you do cut the mono, cut it at a slant. I'm hoping you can see this. So there is like this a hacking effect, you know, like a slant off at an angle like this, and you'll find that will go through the sleeve easier. Now, I'm going to do this one just for argument's sake on a mini double sleeve, which is that one. This is a 1.3 mini double sleeve. So it's a figure 8 if you like. I push it gently through there, through one side. Hopefully you can see this. And then I'm going to go through the eye of the hook, like this here, swing it loose, bend it back over, and just push it back through the tag end. Now, 2 ways of doing this. I could slide that down and cut the tag end off, or I can just push the whole system down, gradually working it so I don't actually have anything to cut. Do you know what I mean? I can bend it as tight as I can get it, but it's got to go all the way through and out the other side of that mini double sleeve. There we go. I see the end just sticking out there. Then I get the cup to cup tool. Now you don't crush it the narrow way, the flat way like that. You crush it vertically, so you're pushing one cylinder down onto the top of the other cylinder. Hopefully I can line that up. I've got it right in the middle. Hopefully you're going to see this, guys. Give it a good crush. Now that is now crimped together. I'm hoping you can see that crimping there. There's the same sort of dent, if you like, both sides evenly that I showed you on the other one. Get your crimping tool, just nip the tag end off, don't damage your main line. The hook will be sharp. You can hitch that around something and basically pull away as hard as you want, and it will still be good. On the other end, I want a swivel. That's all very simple, you say. I put the swivel through. I'm going to cut that slant on it again. It's a little slant. It's gone through the eye of the swivel. I'll show you there. Dead simple. In fact, what I've done, immediately wrong, you stupid child, Graeme. I forgot to put the mini double sleeve on. On goes the mini double sleeve, he says, hopefully. Push it through. Same principle as with the hook. Now, you can do what they call a Flemish eye. You can actually, I'll show it to you anyway so you know. You can go through, well, at least once or twice, but say, basically it's like an overhand knot. So if a crimp did slip, say that slipped, that piece has come out of here. It doesn't matter, that's going to cinch down on there And the other advantage it does give you, and this is fair, on a big fish, a big conger eel, that is now overlapped to sort of double wear on the eye of the swivel and indeed the hook. You know, you've got that extra, should you have a long fight with the fish and it's wearing and wearing away, rubbing away, it won't rub through. Let me show you there. That one is on the one loop there, just here. That one on the Flemish eye, which I normally put through twice, but I'm going to put through once on this just so I can pull it down snug for you. Give that a good pull. There we go. Now you've got the gist of it. There's plenty of movement for the swivel there still, but there's twice as much mono. Make sure I've got that in the middle. You can do it twice. I'm going to do this one twice just to show you. See the width of the jaws and the length of the crimp. I can get two in there. Go one on that end. Just gently slide it along to the end. I do not want to go onto the edge of the mono and weaken the mono with crushing. And there. So that's two little crimps, two little jaw marks there. Snip the tag end off. And basically my trace there is ready. But to give you an idea how you rig a conger trace up, I'm going to show you what it would look like from the rod top. See, there's my hook, here's my trace of 250 pounds, and there's the end of my swivel. Yes, I've got an ordinary loop there and a Flemish eye there. You can do both, either, whatever you fancy. So let's say here is your fishing line, it's coming down like this from the rod top. Now what you want, it doesn't really matter when you've got a big swivel like this, because that hole there is way smaller than the top of the swivel. If you have a small swivel, it might jam inside there. So to avoid that, you would put a bead on. So let's imagine I thread the line up through the rod top. Here comes a fishing line. It's yellow. I think this is 80-pound marlin fishing line, just so you can see it. It comes down from the rod top. I put on one of these clips to take the lead. In fact, I'm going to go and get a lead for you as well. There's no expense spared here, you know. And there we go. I magicked a lead up. So you undo the clip, slide your lead on, close the clip. So you should have the principle now. Slide it. Here's my rod top. My rod top's up here. No, it's not really up here. I'm pretending. It's going to slide up and down. It's called a running ledger rig, this. It slides up and down. And now we're going to tie this to this trace, but we're going to put, wait for this, a bead on. If you can see that there, like that. So that bead will butt up against the swivel and you won't get any tangles, he says, hopefully. Just do a regular blood knot, 5 turns, 3, 4, 5. Pop it through the hole, bearing in mind I'm using it with 80. And God gave you teeth, not for eating, but for pulling fishermen's knots tight. I don't tell my dentist. Wet it, bit of spit. Put it tight. God, it's 80 pound, it's tough. It's marlin fishing line. Ooh, more teeth. Snip off a tag, but I don't snip it too close. I leave a few millimetres just there. That essentially is the rig there. Again, rod top up here. This little bit of 1 inch, 2 inch space there, if you drop down, if you didn't have that there, the line from the trace would spin all around here. If you drop it down like this, you can see there should be a little bit of an inch, that 2 inch gap all the way down. You drop it right down to the seabed, it hits the seabed, and it all pulls out in the tide. So there you have a nice big 8/0 hook, a conger fishing rig. It's made with mini double sleeves. I could easily use these wire ones. You know, for wire, should I want a wire trace, but I don't really think conger like wire. I've got 150, I've got the choice of 250. I've made this up with 250, which I was wreck fishing, I would use 250. If I was just fishing on a reef, I think 150 is more than ample. So it's all there. Get out there, make a few of your own rigs, enjoy your fishing. We'll see you next time. Maybe we'll have another rig for you.